Hey, how's it going, fight fans? Welcome to Mind for Combat. If you're new to this channel, my name's Rohan. Here on this channel I provide MMA breakdowns, MMA fight breakdowns, boxing fight breakdowns, talk about the spheres of mixed martial arts, notably mixed martial arts lately, and I'm soon going to be adding training blogs to the channel as well. So guys, support me to grow my platform simply by hitting the subscribe button, commenting below, liking the video, disliking the video, that's no problem. If you dislike it, I've no issue with that. Just tell me why you dislike it so I can improve my content going forward. Or we can have a debate if you disagree with a point or a breakdown or a prediction that I've made. I'm happy to do that. That's why I started this channel, just to interact with fight fans. That's all I wanted. This is a video that I'm really looking forward to making, because in it I get to break down a very key upcoming 135-pound world title fight between 125-pound world champion Henry Cejudo and Marlon Moraes. Now, it's quite interesting when you look at this fight, especially when you take into context that Henry Cejudo was fighting TJ Dillashaw in what was seen to be him defending the 125-pound division's existence in the UFC. But after that fight, it's the 135-pound division that come into question, because not only did its champion get knocked out by the 125-pound champion very early in the first round, but also it lost the champion because TJ Dillashaw tested positive for steroids, and this is the division that's been a mess. And now the 125 champion is coming up to try and claim a belt in this division as well. And in his quest to fight for the 135-pound world title, he fights Marlon Moraes. Now, Marlon Moraes is an animal. Former World Series of Fighting bantamweight champion, and has been on an absolute tear since coming to the UFC. Let's look at this fight in a bit of key details, look at the tailored tape, and see how some of these figures are going to play into this fight. So Henry Cejudo is 32 years old. The Messenger is 32 years old. I know he's got a baby face, but he's actually getting up there in age, particularly considering his history in mixed martial arts, or martial arts in general, his wrestling background. For those of you who don't know, this is a very well kept secret. He actually has an Olympic gold medal in wrestling. I bet you didn't know that. So that means he's been around in the game competing at a high level for a very long time, and at 32 years old, particularly in a weight class that relies on reflexes, is it still there? That's a question that coming into the fight that I think does deserve some questioning, thinking about. I think he's okay. I don't think he's shown any telltale signs of slowing down, and I'm really looking forward to this fight. He fights Marlon Moraes, who's 31 years old, and thereabouts, so that means they're both there, both in what I would consider the athletic primes, the fighting primes, etc., despite the issues that I've said need some considering with Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo has a professional mixed martial arts record of 14 wins and 2 losses. Now, whilst he ain't had very many fights, it's worth noting that he fought Demetrius Johnson, arguably the greatest of all time, in just his 11th professional mixed martial arts fight. So he's been fighting at a high level for a little while now, you know what I mean? After that he fought Joseph Benavidez straight away. So this is a guy who's got some experience under his belt. He fights Marlon Moraes, who's had a lot more fights than him, with a record of 22 wins, 5 losses and 1 draw. Henry Cejudo stands at 5'4", Marlon Moraes is 5'6", got 2-inch height advantage on him, and Henry Cejudo has a 64-inch reach, whilst Marlon Moraes has a 67-inch reach. He's got a 3-inch reach advantage on him. Their styles, and that size will kind of come into place in their style. For now, let me look at why. Henry Cejudo is a wrestle boxer. He relies on his high-level elite wrestling and his boxing. He's got good boxing skills. He's obviously rounding out his stand-up skills. TJ Dillashaw, who's a very, very well-respected striker, he dropped him and finished him early in the first round, and he hung in there with Demetrius Johnson, who's also a very, very high-level striker for 5 rounds. His wrestling's obviously elite. He won an Olympic gold medal in it, and he can wrestle at a very high level, and he fights Marlon Moraes, who's a striker. Now, Marlon Moraes is going to want to use his striking to win this fight. He's got that dynamic, explosive Muay-Thai striking. He can knock you out just like that. You could be knocked out. And it's very important how he uses his size because whilst he ain't going to be able to wrestle with Henry Cejudo, he may be able to use his size, strength, explosiveness and well-rounded game. He's also got a great BJJ to be able to keep Henry Cejudo off him for long enough to be able to do damage on the feet and impact the direction of the fight. Henry Cejudo is going to want to come in close, you know what I mean, like box to the body, hit his body and try to take him down. You don't want to shoot blind takedowns. Obviously, where the guy's bigger than him, he's got that dynamic, explosive style. He's got to be intelligent about it. Let's look at some of the key wins. So for Henry Cejudo, early in his career, he beat guys like Jussier Formiga, he beat Sergio Pettis. The fight with Joseph Benavidez, where he lost, is also notable because I felt like he should have got that W against Joseph Benavidez. But no problem, even if he lost, getting that high-level 5-round main event experience in a close fight with a top elite fighter like Joseph Benavidez, that adds to your repertoire. Then he's beaten in a close and controversial fight, arguably the greatest of all time, like I said earlier, Demetrius Johnson, and he just finished TJ Dillashaw, who's an animal. A roided out animal. Marlon Moraes in his career, early in his career, he beat guys like Miguel Torres. This is back when he was at 6 wins and 4 losses. That's how good Marlon Moraes is. He's beaten Miguel Torres, Tyson Nam early in his career. More recently, he's on a win streak that includes John Dodson. He knocked out Aljamain Sterling, made him do the dab. He knocked out Jimmy Rivera. He finished Rafael Sanzao to revenge his only loss in the UFC and in his last 20 or so fights. So that's very, very impressive. It's a very impressive form that he's shown. The X factor for Henry Cejudo is definitely going to be his wrestling. No question there. And how is he going to feel at this weight? Is he going to be better? Is he going to be healthier? Is he going to be stronger? For Marlon Moraes, the X factor is going to be his dynamic, explosive striking. He's got that explosion that Edson Barboza has, where he can just like that, snap, explode, boom, flying knee, big head kick, switch kick, big punches. Just you won't even expect it, and it's happened. That's something worth considering. Let's get into the prediction for this fight now. So this is a very competitive fight in my mind. I feel like it's competitive for reasons that I've mentioned. For example, they both have advantages. I feel like Marlon Moraes has his advantage on the feet. Henry Cejudo has his advantage on the ground, but they're both well-rounded. Henry Cejudo can box, and Marlon Moraes has great BJJ. Marlon Moraes is bigger than him, and he should be able to use that size and strength to be able to keep it up for portions of the fight and be able to hurt him when he does have it up, because he's got that dynamic, explosive striking. But Henry Cejudo's I would say he's got higher fight IQ than him, and he's got the boxing to be able to keep it messy. I'm sure he's smart enough to be able to avoid the big shots. He's going to be looking to set up the takedowns and not just rush into it blindly. This is a really, really hard pick for me, and I feel like the fight's going to be settled a lot on the feet and on the cage, with them fighting for positioning. But I feel like Henry Cejudo's incredible conditioning, those Olympic level chops, having beaten Demetrius Johnson and TJ Dillashaw back to back, that is so impressive to me that I can't pick against him. So for my official prediction, I'm going to go with Henry Cejudo to grind out the W in a very competitive and close fight. And maybe at times it could even get a little bit boring because it might be fought on a cage a lot of the time. Henry Cejudo pressing for the takedown, Marlon Moraes not pressing for the takedown. Marlon Moraes also throws a lot of kicks, and I feel like that's going to open up him to get taken down as well. And if he doesn't kick and he just tries to only box, well, then he's going to be losing a key facet of his game. That's another area where I feel like Henry Cejudo is going to be able to flourish. So my official prediction for this video is Henry Cejudo to get the decision in a very gritty, tough, hard-fought fight. So thank you for watching, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below and let me know how you see this fight going. And if you're new to this channel, like I said, hit the subscribe button. Share out this video to all your friends and family. Help me get some subscribers coming. Help me grow my platform. And thank you, guys. Mind for Combat.